everything that's been going on these days, I've been spending a lot of time outdoors in my yard just to take a deep breath, de-stress, and enjoy nature. So since I was all into the outdoors, I was really happy to get a how-to request from Cindy for making coffee filter wisteria. She said her daughter is getting married in September and she wanted to build a wisteria arch to put in her backyard for the wedding. Well, in this video, I'm going to show you how with coffee filters you could make some pretty realistic wisteria that will cost you very little, but will certainly be beautiful for your backyard wedding. So this is for you, Cindy. To make my wisteria, I'm using white basket style coffee filters, thin flexible wire, a natural green and violet spray paint, scissors, and the hot glue gun. Okay, so for each flower branch, I'm going to use 8 coffee filters. I'm going to flatten these out and draw 3 different size circles. I'll be using this margarita glass because it works perfectly. The first circle is my biggest one and a diameter will be about 4 3/4. So I'm going to put the glass right up to the edge and trace around the largest part of the glass. Now right below that, I'll trace the bottom part of the glass, and the diameter of this area is about 3 inches. Now on the side, I have space for a smaller circle, and I'm going to use another glass for that. So the diameter of this, the bottom part of this glass, is about 2 3/8. And just in case you wanted to use these exact glasses, I got these from Dollar Tree. Now since I still have some extra space on this filter, I think I'm going to use that space to draw some leaves. I'd also like to create leaves that come out of the top of the flower branches. So in that area, I'm drawing a little stem with 3 leaves, and this is what my coffee filter looks like. So now I'm just going to cut those shapes out, and I'll have sets of 8 pieces for each shape. Now I want to start by making the leaf branches for my flowers, but first I'm going to bend the top part of the leaves inward just to give them a little dimension. So while it's still in the stack, I'm just going to fold from the point of the leaves down the center. So I'm using this thin flexible wire as sort of a branch for the leaves, and I cut 10-inch pieces. Now I'm folding the wire about 1.5 inches down, and then I'm going to fold this over again about half that size to make 2 sort of sticks that extend out from the branch. So I'm going to twist the larger part around the end of the wire. So I have something that looks like a little twig. So now I'm going to attach my leaf shapes to the ends of the branches with hot glue. Then I'm going to attach the bottom part of my leaves to the ends of the wire and just sort of squeeze the paper around the tips of the wire. And then I'll have something that looks like this. And I'll put a leaf on the other end and one right below to hide that twisty part in the center. And I'm going to put another leaf closer to the bottom of the wire. And this is what I have. This is one stem leaf, and I have 8 cut out leaf pieces, so I have enough to make 2 of these for each set. Okay, so now let's work on the flowers. I'm going to start with the largest shape, and I'm going to fold that in half and fold it in half one more time. Now I'm going to use my pencil to draw the largest petal shape of the wisteria. So the petal's going to look something like this, and I drew a little bit of a neck going towards the point of the fold. And now I'm going to cut that out and unfold that once. And I'm also going to bend the petals here just to make them a little more dimensional. And then I'll unfold them completely, and I have something that looks like this. 4 petals in the cross shape. Now I'm going to do the same thing to my next shape down. I'm going to fold it in half, then fold it in half again, and I'm going to draw that same petal shape, but just a little bit smaller. Then cut that out. Now for my smallest shape, I'm going to fold that twice also. But this time I am going to draw a different shape. This is more like a teardrop shape with a stem. And it looks like little crosses when you unfold it. Okay, so now I have my petal pieces ready to assemble. And I'm starting with my large pieces. I'm going to take 2 petal shapes at a time. And I'm going to put one shape on top of the next. And I'm going to rotate it a little so that the petals are not lined up. Now with that same flexible wire, I cut 18-inch long pieces. And I made a bend here about 6 inches from the back just to make a mark because I want my flower to start there. So anyway, I'm going to take my flower and the 2 petals. I'm going to punch a hole in it using this push pin just to make it easy for me to slide the wire through the petals. So I'm going to slide that all the way down to the end to where I made my mark. And this is where I want the flower to start, 6 inches down from the top of the wire. And I'm going to put a drop of hot glue right at the wire at the point, and then I'm going to squeeze the ends towards the back end. Just push those around and to make a flower that looks like this. Now I'm going to take my next 2 pieces of the same shape and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to rotate the flowers, punch a little hole in it, and push the wire through the hole of the petals. Then I'm going to push those petals all the way down towards the last petals, but I'm going to use my fingertips at the very end of the last flower to measure where to start the next petals. So I'm going to push that down towards my fingers, put a little hot glue there, and then pinch the bottom to make another flower. And you see I have a little bit of a space, almost a half an inch maybe between each flower. So I'm going to repeat this 2 more times since I had 8 of these petal shapes, and I'll have 4 of these large flowers towards the back. Now I'm going to repeat the exact same process with the smaller size down. I'm adding 4 of the medium-sized shape, space a fingertip apart, and then I'm going to do the same thing with the smallest shape. And now I have my wisteria flower piece that looks like this. Now I always wanted to have my own wisteria tree in the backyard, so I'm going to make a bunch of these and create an arch in my backyard just to see what a real tree would look like and to show Cindy. Now for my final step, I'm taking these outside and I'm spray painting them. I'm starting with the leaves and I'm using a Rust-Oleum primer and paint color. This is a satin finish And the color that I'm using here is called Eden. I also have a lighter version of this natural green, which is called Joshua Tree. For the flowers themselves, I'm using the same brand paint, satin finish. I'm using the colors lilac and grape. For these flowers, I'm lightly spraying them on each side, but I'm not spraying them completely covering each petal. I want actually the inside of the petals to stay white. It'll make it look more realistic, give it dimension. Plus the wisteria flower, usually the inside of the petals are white or a lighter color. So after you finish spraying them, you want them to look sort of like this, just a light violet on the outer petals. And as you can see, it gives it a really realistic look. Also, with spray painting them, since they're going to be outside, it'll make it a little more waterproof. So I bought this little trellis to make a mini version of the arch, and I'm just attaching my pieces to the trellis, and I'm just using the wires at the end to wrap around the trellis, and I'm putting most of the pieces at the top and letting some pieces hang down the center top of the trellis. For the arch, I would have it really full at the top and then have it sort of taper down the sides. You see I have the green leaves mostly around the outside. And as it goes down, I would taper it down to a vine of leaves that sort of wrap around the arch. And this looks so beautiful in the backdrop of my hydrangeas. So I'm definitely going to plant me a wisteria tree in my backyard. So Cindy, this is a smaller version of what it would look like. I think this will be really beautiful for your wedding. You can decorate it with ribbon, decorate your chairs with this. Now this is paper, so if you're going to decorate the night before, I would cover it with a plastic covering in case it rains. If it does rain, I don't think it'll fall apart, but it will droop. But you'll probably be able to fluff it up again with your hands. I'm going to leave this out in my yard just to see how it reacts to the weather, and I'll let you know how well it holds up. Now to close out, I want to tell you guys about something I've been doing that may help you also. I've been taking a mental vacation. As you know, there's a lot going on in the world. It's been very stressful. And sometimes you have to take a break to take care of yourself. So the past week, I cut out TV and just blocked everything. I've been taking walks, and I sit out in my garden in the morning and I sit out in my garden in the evening, and it has really renewed my spirit. I feel completely refreshed, and it's something that I really needed, and I know that a lot of you really need this too. So I want to leave you with a few words I've written that I use to meditate on while I'm out enjoying the peace and the beauty of nature. I want to be like the flower, delicate and soft, changing as I grow into my beauty. Although I may look just like my sisters I stand next to, I know that every facet of me is uniquely different, and we are all beautiful. Our color and fragrance fill the space around us with richness and joy. I am a part of a large, beautiful bouquet of life. I want to be like the tree, standing strong and majestic while giving shelter, shade, and protection. The mother figure of the earth, bearing delicious, nourishing fruit, available to all that cross my path. I want to be like the sun, shining my light as far as I can reach, illuminating the darkness, giving life to everything I touch, and warmth. I want to be like water that flows and moves through any terrain with ease. I know that if I splash, my small drop is enough to create a ripple that can grow into a wave, changing the movement of the sea. I want to be the beauty, the strength and protection, the warmth, and the change I love to see. Check out my new Etsy store where you can get some of the very projects made on this show. I also added new project guide booklets with full color step-by-step instructions for some of your favorite projects, including the Bohemian Crystal Table Lamp. All digital downloads just $3. And check out my Amazon page where you can pick up my Your House a Home metallic multi-surface acrylic paint with 8 beautiful shimmering colors. Attention everyone, this metallic paint has been doing so well that it is sold out at the moment. And because of Amazon's new policy on non-essential items during this coronavirus crisis, they are only restocking important needed items at this time. So this product will not be available till the end of June 2020. So hang in there, we'll be back soon. But you can still get my Book of Elegant Home Crafts Volume 1 with all your favorite projects together in one big beautiful colored step-by-step instruction book. On my Amazon page, you'll see all my favorite crafting tools and supplies used on this show, and you can add them all to your cart for the one-click, fast and easy shopping and delivery convenience of Amazon. I'll be working every day to make crafting fun and easy for you. Follow me at Your House of Home and Your House of Home TV on all social media for extra home, food, and gardening tips.